Bharya, the wife. The movie opens with Benny, his wife Leela, and their two children, Molly and Rajan, enjoying a boat ride. Mathan, their servant, prepares food for them on the shore. Little Rajan attempts to prepare tea by himself, but the effort goes wrong. Benny's father was at their home, waiting to greet them with presents. He inquired if Benny had stopped drinking, to which Leela confirmed that he had. Benny goes to the small tutorial college he runs. As Benny drives, his car splashes dirty water on a girl, Gracie, and her father, Utup. Benny stops the car, and a brief quarrel ensues. It turns out Gracie was on her way to enroll in his college. Seeing each other again, they are both surprised and quickly apologize for the earlier argument. Gracie enrolls in the college. Utup informs Benny that he will need a little more time to provide the full fees, and Benny allows it. Gracie was given admission to a girls' hostel. Benny is teaching a class when he asks a student, Premsagar, to step outside. He tells him to bring his guardian to the college the following day. Premsagar approaches someone and pays them to pretend to be his father. The following day, as Premsagar and his fake father were speaking with Benny, his actual father suddenly appeared. An angry Benny warns Premsagar that he is on the verge of being expelled. A lot of gossip starts to spread, connecting Gracie and Benny. The rumors were not unfounded, as there was, in fact, a romantic relationship between them. Leela discovers a towel embroidered with the words, "Sweet Kisses," in Benny's shirt pocket. Benny's family is ready and waiting for him to take them to the movie. Benny doesn't appear, and Mathan has to inform the family that he's currently occupied. Consequently, they proceed to the movie without Benny. He was, in fact, with Gracie in the same movie theater and hid his face to avoid being recognized. As Benny attempts to quietly slip out, his son Rajan spots him. Gracie and Benny visit her family's house that night and are welcomed warmly by her parents. As Leela waits up for Benny, their servant Matthew comes to her and suggests she should get some sleep. Benny and Gracie are making arrangements to change her hostel room for their convenience. Overcome with sadness, Leela turns to prayer. Benny returns home the next day, but he shows no affection toward his children. He also behaves rudely toward Leela. In the wardrobe, Leela finds several photos of Gracie. At the same time, a bottle of alcohol is found by Matthew. A sense of sadness hangs over both of them. Mathan approaches Leela to request a key. When she questions him, he discloses the details of the relationship between Gracie and Benny. Utup arrives with some vegetables, intending to see Benny. He informs Leela that Benny and Gracie had been at his house the previous week. Without having lunch, Benny goes with Utup. Rajan requests Benny's signature on the progress report. The bottle of alcohol slips from his grasp and falls, shattering the silence. A wave of sorrow washes over the whole family. Gracie is taking money from Benny by exploiting him. Leela is experiencing a period of deep sadness. Leela receives a visit from her brother, Joy, who asks her to visit their home. Utup instructs Gracie to get more money from Benny. Leela asks Benny to spend some time with the family, even though he was on his way to see Gracie. She asks him to accompany her to her house, but Benny gets angry and storms off. Utup and Gracie arrive at Benny's home to see him, under the assumption that Leela is not present. Leela confronts Gracie and asks for an explanation for her presence. Leela requests that they stop interfering in her family life. Matthew lashes out and hits Utup. They were ordered to leave and never return. After getting a telegram with the news that Benny's father is ill, Leela immediately begins searching for him. Leela finds Benny with Gracie and breaks the news to him that his father is ill. He is completely indifferent to the situation. In preparation to see Benny's father, Leela is packing her bags. Utup is building a new house, so he asks Gracie to get more money from Benny, and she agrees. When her friends ask who Utup is, Gracie tells them he is their servant. At midnight, Benny wakes up and goes out to see Gracie. Leela follows him and gives him a sweater, telling him it is cold outside. After Gracie asks him for more money, she complains about Leela. This makes Benny so angry that he says he will divorce Leela. Leela walks in on Gracie and Benny, finding them together in a room. Following a heart attack, Benny's father's condition is improving. Benny faces teasing from the students. Benny asks Leela to sign some checks as soon as he gets home, but she asks him to explain their purpose. Benny doesn't answer, and it becomes obvious that the money is for Gracie. Leela's refusal to sign causes Benny to slap her. When Matthew interferes, he gets slapped as well. Benny makes another attempt to force Leela to sign, but at that very moment, his father shows up. Because he already knows everything about Gracie and Benny, Benny's father slaps him for accusing Leela and then scolds him. Leela is experiencing restless nights due to nightmares. Benny isn't even showing up for class, even as Karthavu is planning to take over the college. Rajan is seriously ill with a high fever, but at that time, Benny is with Gracie. Benny's father intervenes to help them. A doctor arrives to examine Rajan. Because their new house is completed, Gracie's mother Rahul tells Uttup to arrange a marriage for Gracie with Premsagar. She believes Benny is no longer of any use to them. Mathan brings a marriage proposal for Premsagar, while Premsagar's father, Karya, comes to meet with Uttup. They talk about arranging a marriage between Premsagar and Gracie. Leela's brother, Joy, comes to talk to Benny, but they end up quarreling about Gracie, and Benny pushes Joy. Leela interferes. Leela pleads with Benny to save their family, but he responds by pushing her. Joy confronts him, stating they will not allow anyone to hurt Leela. Benny's anger boils over, and he slaps Leela. Joy attacks Benny, and Leela tries to stop him. After a struggle, she succeeds in getting Joy to go out. When Premsagar asks Gracie about her relationship with Benny, she insists there is nothing between them but a teacher-student relationship. Premsagar asks Gracie if she is ready for marriage, and she accepts. Gracie tells Benny her parents are forcing her into a marriage with Premsagar. He asks her if she would rather live with him, and she readily accepts. Benny says they will leave that place the next day. Gracie's parents tell Benny that he should no longer visit Gracie, since she is getting married. Gracie gives a letter to Mathan and asks him to deliver it to Benny. While Benny is preparing for the elopement, Mathan delivers the letter to him. The letter reveals that she can't go without her parents' permission, a message that angers him. Leela discovers the letter and takes possession of it. Benny asks Leela to return the letter, but she tells him it says Gracie won't be able to come to Hyderabad today. When Benny threatens her, she stands her ground and tells him how much she loves her husband and family. Benny refuses to listen and starts a quarrel that escalates to a physical attack, but Leela doesn't give him the letter. After hitting her violently, he delivers a hard kick to her belly, causing her to fall. Benny's father comes down and stops him, but by then, Leela has already passed away. Benny's father breaks down in tears. Benny's father startles him by suddenly taking out a pistol and giving it to him. In a desperate attempt to save his son, Benny's father tells him to shoot Leela. He says they have already lost her and cannot afford to lose Benny too, so he must stage her death as a suicide. Benny fires a shot at Leela's seemingly lifeless body, only to discover she was merely unconscious when she suddenly wakes up. Her final words are a plea for him to take good care of their children, and then she dies. Benny seeks out Uttup to ask them to provide him with an alibi, telling the police he was with them during the incident. After Uttup refuses to lie for Benny, Rahul waits for him to leave before screaming that the murderer is in their house. Gracie intervenes when she hears Benny trying to kill her mother, hitting him with a rod and knocking him to the ground. The police, who were already looking for Benny, arrive just as Gracie and Rahul start screaming again. Benny flees the scene while the police begin to question Gracie. The funeral service for Leela is being held. When Benny arrives, he is arrested by the police, who are waiting for him. Benny tells his father and kids to forget him. He promises that if he ever returns, he'll be a changed man. He pleads with them to forgive him for all he has done if he is sentenced to death. With the police by his side, Benny walks away.